There's a strange thing about happiness. You never realize how beautiful it is until it's gone. Bill Gates once said, "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose." But what he never said publicly was that success had also made him forget something even more important: what it means to feel truly happy. In the early years, everything in Bill's life revolved around achievement. Long nights at the office, endless meetings, countless flights, and endless data on screens. Every goal reached only created another one, a higher one, a harder one. He believed that once he reached the top, happiness would be waiting for him, like a trophy. But when he finally got there, it wasn't. The applause faded, the noise quieted, the headlines changed. And in that silence, he realized something had been lost, moments that could never come back. He remembered his early days at Harvard, nights spent coding not for fame or fortune, but for curiosity. Back then, happiness wasn't expensive. It was a cup of coffee, a laugh with friends, the joy of creating something new. But somewhere along the way, that simplicity disappeared behind spreadsheets, deadlines, and expectations. Years later, during a private interview that never went public, he admitted something quietly: "I had everything, and yet, I was lonely." You see, when you're always chasing the next milestone, you forget to look at where you are. You forget that happiness doesn't live in the next goal. It lives in the moment. There was a time when his daughter once asked him, "Dad, why are you always working?" He smiled and said, "So that you can have everything you want." She looked at him and softly replied, "But I only want you." That sentence stayed with him. For years, he began That sentence stayed with him. For years, he began to realize that the price of his success was higher than any business deal. It was the time he could never buy back. Birthdays missed, dinners skipped, laughter replaced by phone calls that started with, "Sorry, I'm busy." And that's when it hit him. He had misunderstood happiness his whole life. He thought it was the result of success, but it was actually the foundation of it. He began to change, slowly. He took walks alone without a phone. He read books not about business, but about life. He spent more time with his children, not as a CEO, but as a father. He learned to listen again, not just to people, but to silence. And in that silence, he found something he had lost: peace. He once said in a speech years later, "If you can't find joy in ordinary days, you'll never find it in extraordinary success." That's the regret about happiness. We spend half our lives chasing it, thinking it's hiding in the next car, the next house, the next big win. But when we finally stop running, we realize it was there all along. In the quiet breakfasts with family, in the rain outside your window, in the laughter that didn't need a reason. Bill learned that lesson too late to relive the years he'd lost, but not too late to live the ones he still had. He once visited one of his old friends from the early Microsoft days. They sat in a small kitchen, drinking tea, no cameras, no schedule. His friend said, "You look different, Bill." Happier. Bill smiled and said, "Maybe because I stopped trying to find happiness, and started feeling it." That's when you realize, happiness isn't an achievement. It's a choice. A choice to slow down. A choice to be grateful. A choice to be present. The world will always tell you to chase more money, more fame, more power. But sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is stop and say, "This is enough." Because one day, all your trophies will collect dust. All your awards will fade. But the memories, the laughs, the hugs, the quiet sunsets, they'll stay. Bill Gates once confessed that the best lesson life taught him wasn't about wealth or innovation, but about time. Because time is the only thing you can never earn back. So, if you're listening to this now, remember, happiness isn't something you find at the end of the road. It's something you create while walking it. And maybe, just maybe, you won't have to look back one day and say, I had everything, except time to enjoy it.